make-believer. Welcome to S. McPherson's Madhouse. In today's video, I am doing the Ride or Die Book Tag. Whoop whoop! Whoop whoop! This tag was originally created by Hannah from La M, and I will link the original tag below. It consists of 10 questions that I will be answering here today regarding books, and that's about it. Question 1 is the BFF, Best Friend Forever, and it is a book that not everyone likes, but that has been with you since the start, and you will always love it. That book for me is one by Stephanie Meyer. Yes, we all know which book I'm talking about. And not many people like it. I think a lot of people did like it and then they read it again and they started to hate it, and I don't know. But for me, this book was great. I loved it then and I will always love it. And even the movies that get a little bit hectic and a lot of heavy breathing, I still love. And that is Twilight. So this book was super high in popularity and then got a lot of hate. But I still love it and I will always love it. Question 2 is The Long Drive, a book that you would take on a journey with you. Think a plane or a train, something where you're not going to be able to move for a long time. Now, if I'm going on a journey and I'm taking a book with me, I'm probably going to take a book I haven't read because that's just me. I don't manage to reread books, not because I don't want to, but because I just don't have the time, because there's so many new books that I want to read. However, assuming that this is a perfect world and I get time to reread books and I'm going on a long journey, the book that I would take with me would be A Court of Mist and Fury. Yes, this is not the first one in the series, but I remember the first one in the series very well, so I don't need to reread it in order to read this one, which is really the bae of the series. This is the one that everybody needs to read. So, yeah, this is the one that's going on the plane, the train, the automobile, and flying with me in the rocket ship up to space and wherever I go. This is the book that I would reread if I had time to reread books. Question 3 is The Newcomer, the most recent book that you've read that you can't stop talking about. So I've read a few books after this book, but this is the most recent book that I've read. I read it in December and early this year, and it's still on my mind and I can't stop talking about it in the bookosphere world, and that is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. So this is by no means a new book. This is one of her oldest books, but I just got to it and I love it, and it is beautiful, and it is a beast, which I also enjoyed, the mammoth size. And it's just a beast of awesome pages, so that's even better. Question 4 is The Quiet One, the book you reach for when you need some peace and quiet. Now, let's be honest, I think every book you reach for is because you want some peace and quiet. But I suppose some books are more terrifying / action-packed than others, and so one book that I would reach for when I just want some peace and quiet is unos momentos. This entire series. Whenever I think a nice, beautiful adventure read, and I just want to melt away into another world, into another book, and just chill. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there are some parts in this series that are not so peaceful and quiet. And there are some parts in this series that make you want to pull your heart out of your chest just to make it stop hurting. And there are parts that make you want to throw books across the room. But specifically the Philosopher's Stone, that is the right one, right? Am I on the right side? Yeah. The Philosopher's Stone, indeed, is definitely my peace and quiet book. And you will notice that these books are still in their plastic, because I got them for Christmas and I haven't taken them out yet. I do have the older copies, but I just wanted to put these ones in a video. Oh, I can see my reflection. Hi! Question 5 is The Outgoing One, the book that you love to read in public or don't mind keeping with you for antisocial occasions. Now, I don't really do antisocial occasions. I'm either going to be antisocial at home, reading my books and writing my books, or I'm going to go out and be social. But for books that I don't mind reading in public, that is any and all books. I do not care. If I want to read a book, I'm going to read it, and if I have time to read it in public, I'm going to read it in public. Question 6 are the guilty pleasures, the books you don't want to justify because it would be too embarrassing, but you love it nonetheless. For this one, again, I don't really have a specific book, but I guess the cheesy romances, the really chiclety or over-the-top, you know, historian, outlanderish romances. I mean, I can't say that Outlander is a guilty pleasure, but you know what I mean. Books like that with heavy on the romance and cheesiness and tropes and all that glorious good stuff. I would say that those are the books that I just always go back to, and the reason for is not very deep. It's a shallow reason of I love cheesy romance. That is all. Question 7 is The Stranger, the book that no one seems to have heard of, but that you wish everybody read so you could talk about it. I can't say my next book choice is a stranger. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about it, and I heard about it from another booktuber, and I met a girl at a book fair, hi Haya, and she'd also heard of it, but to be honest, those are probably the only 2 people in my life, or maybe 3 or 4 people in my life that I have heard mention this book, and I feel like it should be much bigger and have much more attention to it. So it is kind of The Stranger, and I think everyone should read it so that I can talk about it. And that is Half Bad by Sally Green. It is just epic, awesome witcheriness, and I love the narrative, which I have touched on many times before in other videos, so I won't get into it too much now. But I absolutely love this book, and I really enjoyed the series, and I just think more people should have read it. Like, I think it should just be bigger and more hyped and just, you know, just more! Damn it! Question 8 is The Book Was Better. A book you loved, but the film adaptation was awful. I didn't have to think about this one. Immediately the answer came to my mind, although I would say that maybe awful is a little strong, and maybe not so much the film, although the film yes, but also the TV show. It was not my favorite cup of tea or adaptation of such an epic book, and that was The Mortal Instruments, aka Shadowhunters. So this book is like 70% of the reason I started writing. So I loved writing, and I wrote as a kid, and I wrote scripts, and it was great, and I wrote poems and songs, and it was lovely. And of course I read Harry Potter, and I just wanted to fall into these worlds and write awesome, amazing books. But this book is what made me fall in love with writing, that made me realize that writing can be just as lyrical and poetic as the songs I was writing, and the dialogue can just be as just edgy as the scripts I was writing, and that writing is an art form. Because I tell you, I love the Harry Potter books, but the writing is very simple, it's middle grade, and it tells a story, and it puts you in this amazing world, but that's it. This writing is style, and it was a great story. And then the film adaptation came along, and it wasn't very great. And then the show came along, and I was so excited, and about 10% of the actual book that's real is in the show. I mean, to be fair, I didn't finish the series because, yeah. But no, the book did it better. 100 million %. Question 9 is the author. An author that you'll read everything they'll ever produce. You trust them completely. Whether it's a hardback series or 15 novels or a shopping list, you will read them. For me, that is Sarah J. Maas. I absolutely love her books. I love her story ideas. I love her characters. And I love the plots and the developments and the action. And of course, the romance. I love Sarah J. Maas. And I love the writing style. So it's all just love. So I will read anything Sarah J. Maas writes ever. I do like one series of hers more than the other. Darling. But still, epic. Everything she writes is just epic, and I am so excited to get to her new book at Crescent City, yeah! Or just Crescent City, whatever it is, I can't wait. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Question 10 is the tubers, and I'm supposed to choose 3 booktubers that I want to do this tag as well. But as always, I'm gonna tag all of you because I would love to hear your answers, what books you would take everywhere with you, what author you would always read, and etc, etc, etc. So I'm putting this out there. Let me know, or do your own video and tag me in it so I can watch what you would do in this book tag ride or die scenario. And that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up/like. And if you like all my other videos, then please subscribe/follow. And until next time, I'll see you. Bye!